Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Woodmere State Revival. It is another big weekend at the pool. We are working on finishing up the last of the 2-inch PVC plumbing. We've got to pick up one skimmer. That's the one we cut out for last weekend. And we've got to pick up the old main drain line, which is black poly pipe. So we've got to stab a barb fitting into it, convert it to PVC, and we need to pick up the floor drain return, and or the floor return. And that's also black poly pipe, so we got to stab a barb fitting into that as well. And get those all buttoned up, convert them to 2-inch PVC, back to the pump house with them. And that's it. We are done with our 2-inch PVC. So really excited about that. Let me show you what we're getting into right now. So I've been down in the pool today. I took the covers off the floor returns. And there are two in the shallow end. You see one right there, and then one over there next to the plunger. Yes, that's a plunger. Get to that in just a second. And then there's two down here in the deep end as well. And you can see one right there with water coming out of it, and one over there with water coming out of it. There's water coming out because I've got the garden hose over here in the ditch, and right now I'm just kind of flushing. There was a ton of dirt and filth in that system from where the pool had sat full of sediment and rotten, decaying leaf matter and all that stuff for so many years. So today I took the covers off. You can see them sitting there. They're adjustable covers. Took those off and then kind of dug out as much of the muck as I could, and then took the hose down in there and started flushing. And this one over here on the near side of the pool, it flushed out just fine. It just had some sand and some stuff in it, and I was able to use the hose and just kind of flush that out. But this one on the other side really gave me a hard time. I took Romex wire and ran it down through there, and I got about 12 feet into it, and still couldn't get the plug out. So then I went to the house and grabbed the plunger out of the bathroom, don't tell Amber, and got that and used that on the floor there of the pool, and actually got enough plunging action to break the clog loose wherever it was downstream here, and actually get that thing flushed out. And so as soon as I did, there was a ton of mud and debris and stuff pouring out of these. You can see now they're running clear down into the bottom of the pool there. So I got our electric pump running there, pumping it out, but the returns are running clear at this point, so that's exciting. So I think I've got all the nastiness out of the pipes there. So I'm going to let that flush for a little bit longer, but back to the task at hand. Walk around the pool here with me real quick. So you can see the skimmer opening that we cut out last weekend. That was a dusty, nasty mess, but we got the skimmer fitted in there, and so now we're ready to go ahead and plumb the skimmer. So I'm going to dig out just a little bit of that rock and debris, throw that out of the way, and then we're going to start getting our pipe fitted, and we've got to run it around here, and we'll stay fairly close to the wall of the pool inside this other return line, and we'll run it around here. Now you've got the wall return here, so we've got two wall returns coming around. We'll run it inside of that over here in between the two wall returns and the in between the vacuum line and the wall of the pool over here into the center of the ditch, which has conveniently filled up with water again, and then over there into the pump house. So as soon as I get that done, then we got to tap into these black poly pipe fitting, or black poly pipes over here in the ditch. This was from a previous renovation that they did at some point, and got to tap into those and go ahead and get those, like I said, converted to PVC using some barb fittings. We're going to cut them, use 45 fittings, and then angle over towards the ditch there, and then add a 45 again over towards the pump house. So I think the floor returns have flushed long enough. Now I'm going to go ahead and flush out the main drain line while I'm at it, and push out any dirt and nastiness out of that down into the bottom of the pool where we can vacuum it out or suck it out with our pump. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go get the skimmer and start sitting it in place. I'll probably go ahead and put it in place dry for now, and then come back and glue all those fittings. But I'm going to get to work and see what we can get done. All right, so Amber's here ready to get some work done. What you up to, hon?
I'm just getting started.
What you gonna do?
I am going to take the grinder with the diamond wheel and try to sand down all these spots from where we put the coping on.
Okay, so there's some
Concrete
mortar that squizzed out from underneath the
you had the forms on
coping there.
Yeah, and get rid of all the
So we'll straighten that up and
Sand this down.
get it ready for waterline tile.
Yep.
Nice.
I want to order it tomorrow.
Awesome.
So I only have 120 feet to do.
Yeah, well, at least we're almost done with the plumbing.
I know.
Time we finish this project today, we'll have 460 feet of 2-inch PVC in the ground.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of pipe.
It's a lot of party.
That's a lot of pool party. That's right. So Dad's here today as well. He's over there working on the other side of the pool. Let's go over there and see what he's up to. Trip over the extension cord and fall in the hole. Dad's digging out the last of the ditch over here. This is the cross ditch where we're picking up the old black poly pipe that went down to the main drain. Dad just discovered a piece of white PVC. That was a throwback to one of the previous renovations. They did replumb both the skimmers in white PVC at some point. But the main drain and the floor drains, or floor returns, were plumbed in black poly. You can see where those came out of the pump house over here. There was the original galvanized pipe, all nice and rusty. They put some sort of fitting on there. Maybe just a barbed fitting. I don't know if they were able to cut and thread that pipe or what happened, but they put a fitting on there and then stabbed it in there. And then the black poly went through a ditch over there behind Dad and down into the side of the pool. So just behind Dad over there, we've got the black poly in the ditch. And here after a while, we're going to cut those, clean them up, and stab some new barbed fittings in there and transition back to PVC. What do you think, Dad? Pretty good?
Oh, it's great. The end's in sight, I think.
The end is near.
Yeah, the end is near.
Yeah, thank goodness, because that's hard digging. There's old bricks and hard pan and clay and all sorts of junk in there, isn't there?
We're still looking for buried treasure.
Still looking for buried treasure, and we found none.
Found none.
That's the way it goes around this place.
Not even a pop can.
Yep. Salamanders and frogs and occasional crawdad. That's about it. All right, excellent. Thank you, sir. Amber's getting ready to fire up the grinder.
I am.
Got everything you need, honey?
Yeah,
Okay, you're looking well protected.
I am.
You're looking hot, too.
Not as hot as I was last summer.
Yeah, not as bad as wearing that white Tyvek suit
Right.
in 95-degree temperatures.
Yeah, I'm all good.
That was pretty brutal.
It was.
There's the boys. They've been off on a grand adventure. Hey, guys.
Hey.
How's it going? They've been exploring the woods. And over here, I just got the skimmer dry fit with the new plumbing. Run through the ditch over here. And got it run around the corner. Got it laid down in there across almost over to the other corner there. So I'm going to take it apart again, glue it all together, and then keep on trucking around the other side there. And the fifth trooper. Love a woman that can use a hand grinder. Good work, hon. All right, so we're making good progress. We just finished the line that runs from the second skimmer over on the deep end of the pool, all the way around the pool, up the main ditch, and into the pump house. Amber's behind me. She's still stirring up a dust cloud, trying to grind down the last of the sidewall of the pool there to get ready to start putting tile on it. Dad has dug the ditch out and got that looking good. Let's take a look. We're getting ready to lay the lines in the ditch that Dad just finished. That'll hook up the main drain and the floor returns. Let's check that out. All right, so we just got done putting pipe number 7 into the ditch. And we got them all running to the pump house now. See them all stubbed up over there. It's getting tighter and tighter in there, isn't it, Dad?
Tighter and tighter. It's all right. We're about done.
We got 2 more to go.
Hallelujah.
So Dad got the ditch dug out nicely and got it ready to go over here and make our connections. So we've got 4 pipes in the ground over here, black polyethylene pipe. These were part of a later renovation of the pool. Originally it was plumbed with galvanized. But the black poly pipe goes down, the ones we're interested in are the one that go to the main drain, which is the biggest one. And then the one over here on the left that I've already cut off, that's the one that goes to the floor returns. The other 2 that we're abandoning, one was the vacuum line, which we've already run a new one over there, that 2-inch PVC. And then the other one was for skimmers. And we've run brand new lines to our skimmers as well. So the pipes that we're connecting go down in the bottom of this hole down there. You can barely see them going into the concrete down there. And then they run down into the depths of the pool to supply the main drain and the floor returns that I was working on earlier, trying to get those flushed out. So we're going to stab some barb fittings in there and get those connected. Amber, in the meantime, is going to continue to grind away. She's having fun, you can tell. Looking a little dusty.
I mean, I'm not ready to go out to dinner.
Not quite. We had to take a quick shower first.
I forgot how dusty this job is.
Yeah, it's a mess. You're doing a great job there. Proud of you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, back to work.
So which line is this, Chris?
The main drain.
The main drain. And that's hard plastic?
Black polyethylene pipe.
Okay.
It's flexible, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't touch your
Pretty
fingers.
easy to cut, thankfully.
Okay.
But we're adapting it to rigid Schedule 40 pipe.
Okay.
So we gotta cut this off and then insert a barbed fitting.
I'm getting your backside in the video. Sorry.
But you can't just shove the fitting in there. You gotta heat the pipe
Okay.
up first. Because it's not flexible enough
Okay.
otherwise. Alright, so we gotta get our fitting ready here. Put our clamps on.
We'll apply the rectum seal at some point in time.
Yes, sir. One clamp going one way.
So did you already do this on the other pipe?
Yeah, we already did the inch and a half for the
Okay.
floor return lines.
So you had to heat it up too and
Yeah,
do the same kind of thing?
heat it up, stab it in there.
Stab it, stab it.
Okay, let's see, torch. Then we gotta apply some Teflon sealing paste
Okay.
to the barbed fitting.
Okay. You have to put that on the inside of the black pipe?
No, you just put enough here to
Okay.
liberally coat it. And that just seals up any little gaps. Any
Yeah.
little microscopic gaps in between the barb and the black poly.
We don't want any leaks.
That leaks.
And it helps to slide it in there too.
Okay.
Slicks it up a little bit. Okay. Pretty good. Now, don't drop it so all the dirt sticks to it.
Okay.
God bless you, Dad. Time to heat her up.
Down the hole.
Gotta keep it moving so you don't set it on fire.
Right.
Melt it, weaken it. A heat gun would work with this too.
Okay.
Less likely to set things on fire.
Wow.
But then you gotta drag an extension cord over here, get the heat gun out.
That's okay.
Easier just to play with fire.
Definitely like that.
Gotta keep it moving. Feeling pretty good. All right, time to stab in the fitting.
Does it just push in?
Yep.
Cool.
There she is.
You need to beat her, did you?
Yep. So while the clamps or the pipe's still hot, then you go ahead and try to tighten your clamps.
Okay.
That pulls the pipe down into the barbs. And then when the pipe cools, no way to get it off unless you cut it.
Okay.
It is on there tight.
So you have one down and one up?
Yeah. Pulling against each other basically.
Okay.
Hot. Shocking. Dave, would you mind getting a 1/4-inch drive ratchet out of the box over there for me, please? Thanks, sir.
So this is the last pipe back to the pool house?
Yeah, these two.
These two?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. This is the main drain and the flow of return.
And then the other two down in there are,
Those are dead.
okay,
That was the old skimmer lines.
okay.
We've replaced those with white PVC.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the vacuum line.
Okay, and we
Goes to the
did
side of
that
the pool
right
and
over
we
there.
replaced that with PVC as well.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks, sir. Normally you just hand tighten these, you don't have to put a ratchet on it, but because this one's kind of hard to get to,
Yeah.
I'm going to use a ratchet.
Let the games begin. I need the old hands back.
Alright, got that one snagged up. Snug. Snug. Alright, so then we just got to spin on our coupling here.
Okay.
This is what allows us to go from barbed, threaded.
Two.
So you got threaded in
Yeah.
here and now you're going back to glued
Okay.
or solvent weld with the pipe just like we've been doing for everything
Okay.
else. So we'll get that fitted up tight and get it run over to the pump house.
All right, looking good.
Thank you.
How does do you have to use glue with the threads?
No, we use more of this
Oh, that.
Teflon
Okay.
pipe dope. Applied liberally.
If this ever leaks, you know who I'm calling.
Plumber?
Yeah. Plumber Chris.
Don't worry, it won't leak.
I'm teasing.
We've used enough pipe glue to build a battleship. Alright, we got our threads doped. Now you just spin this on. Not cross-threading it. Tighten my hand as much as you can. And then we use pipe wrench to snug her down a little more.
The big wrench.
Snug.
Okay.
Now we'll dry fit our glued fittings.
Okay.
Little union piece here just to kind of get things all lined up, and then we'll go ahead and drop in a 10-foot section at 2-inch,
Ready for joint?
and then fit it in the ditch here. Make sure everything
Awesome.
lines up, and then we'll get her glued.
Well, thank you for that very technical tutorial.
Ah, you're welcome. That's what
I'm
I'm here
sure
for.
America has enjoyed that.
Not just a pretty face.
There's actually some knowledge in that brain.
There is.
Swarm on it.
Whoops. Whoopsie.
The pipe swarmed.
I see.
All right. Well, I have done my duty today.
Yeah, thanks for all the grinding.
You're welcome. I made it around the whole perimeter of the pool.
Okay, down and back just a smidge. Back, yeah.
I'm going to take the boys and I'm going to go get a shower and then get some dinner made.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.
Have fun finishing up.
Thank you. All right, so we are just about wrapped up for this evening. It's been a very, very productive day. Got a ton of stuff done around the pool. Dad was here pitching in again. He got a lot of digging done in that ditch going from the black poly pipe over to the main ditch, and then he helped me set some pipes in place, helped me get those fittings in place for the black poly pipe, and then we got the almost finished those PVC pipes back over to the pump house. We actually ran out of 90-degree fittings, so I got to pick up a handful of those tomorrow and then knock out the last of it. But we are so close. We're about, I'd say, 95% done with putting all the new 2-inch lines in throughout the entire property. So, man, it's been a real slog, but it turned out great. Couldn't be happier with how everything turned out. Amber was down here. She got dusty. She worked around the pool for several hours using the grinder with the diamond cup wheel on it, and she used that to clean up the area where the new waterline tile is going to go. She had to clean off some of the mortar from where they set the new coping, and then I patched some areas with concrete, and so she had to go back through and smooth all that and get that even with the rest of the original concrete. So she got that looking great. Got filthy dirty, but she did a tremendous job on that. Let me show you what all we got accomplished today. All right, so you are looking at the skimmer in the deep end. Deep end. And we got that thing cut out last week, but this week we got all the plumbing in for it. Let's take a walk over there and check that out. What's up, Neptune? Neptune's very unhappy with his current accommodations. We're going to have to get him out of that nasty pond and in a little more respectable spot. Let's take a walk over here and you guys can check this out. So we had to come down out of the new skimmer into our 2-inch line. We got that all solvent welded in place, and then that makes the corner here, goes across the deep end over here past another one of the wall returns, and then goes all the way up the side of the pool here to the middle where it joins all the rest of the lines. So from this point we've got 7. You've got 3 from this side of the pool and 4 from this side of the pool. You got 7 going up through there, and then that meets the other 2 that are coming in from this side ditch. Let's take a look at that. All right, so here's the black poly pipe where it comes out of the side of the hill here. We got that dug out. And again, we're down about 2 feet there. So we feel safe with you know, the typical winters and everything here in West Virginia. There's no way that the frost or the freeze will get down that deep to affect those lines, and we're going to blow it all down anyways, you know, when we shut the pool in for the winter. But the important thing is it's down, it's deep, and we're not going to have to worry about it. But again, we use those barbed fittings. So we heated up the black poly pipe with a torch, and we covered the barbed fittings. Those are Schedule 80 barbed fittings. We covered those with a Teflon pipe dope, that or a thread sealant, if you will. And then we heated those up and we shoved those in there and then clamped them down tight with the pipe was still nice and warm. So those are going nowhere. They are super tight. And then out of those we went to a threaded pipe coupler, and then we went back into solvent welded pipe, and that's what takes us down that way back to the main ditch into the pump house. So as I mentioned, we ran out of 90s, so unfortunately we weren't able to get these last couple of connections made here. And I think I need 6 more. So coming over to the ditch, and then we, because of the weird angle, we had to 90 up and then make the angle and then go back and then 90 over into the pump house. So not ideal, a couple extra fittings there, but we really didn't have much choice. I was hoping we were going to be able to make these 45s work, but unfortunately the pipes where they had them laid originally came out kind of at an angle. So really it was, when we got over here, it was at about a 15-degree angle, you know, to all the other pipes. So it really wasn't going to work. But at any rate, so we decided to go ahead and use an extra 90 there and bring it up and then go over and then into the pump house. And so we're going to have a total of 9 lines, 9 2-inch lines coming here to the pump house. So it's getting pretty crowded. As you can see, we got all kinds of lines up here, got them all labeled. These are all just loose right now. They haven't been solvent welded in place. I just wanted to have a marker there so we know what they are, and then also just to keep dirt stuff from getting down in the fittings down there. But the plan is to bring all of the return fittings together into one manifold. Each of those will have its own valve, so we can regulate how much water pressure goes to each of the wall returns and to the floor return. And then also we'll have all of the skimmers and the main drain and the vacuum lines all tied together, each with their own valve. And a couple of these valves are actually going to be electrically actuated. They will be controlled by our control panel, and we'll get into that more later on. We got all our pool equipment ordered this week, and it's really cool stuff, very high tech. It's going to help us to really automate the controls of the pool, which will help us to better regulate temperature and do a better job with keeping the pool clean, regulate salinity, you know, because we're doing salt water, and then pH as well. So you can do a lot of really cool stuff with these systems now, and it's really going to help us to do some great stuff. So I can't wait till the big truck shows up later this week. It's going to have a brand new sand filter, brand new variable speed pump for the filtration system, brand new pool heater. I mean, just everything you could possibly imagine that we're going to get for this pool. It's just super cool. We also have an auxiliary pump that's going to come off of here that will power some deck jet fountains. There's going to be 3 fountains per side shooting out into the middle of the pool. It's going to be awesome for nighttime ambiance, and the kids will have a blast playing in them and everything else. So a lot of neat stuff. Can't wait to show you guys everything that we got going and get all that stuff installed. As soon as we get that installed, then we're going to do the waterline tile, patch the plaster, power wash and sand one more time on the plaster walls, and then we're going to paint, and we'll be ready to fill this bad boy up. So can't wait to get this done. The kids are just dying to get in the pool this later on this spring, and with that pool heater, 300,000 BTU natural gas heater, we're going to be able to take full advantage of the spring, summer, and even early fall pool season here. So cannot wait to get that done. All right, we will be back down here tomorrow to wrap up a few things. We'll see you guys then. All right, we are back. It is day 2 in our big plumbing weekend, and as we said yesterday, real happy with the progress on everything, but we ran out of fittings. We would have finished up our last 2 runs back to the pump house, but we were missing about 5 or 6 90-degree 2-inch Schedule 40 fittings. So picked those up after church today, and we are back in business. My dad's back here with me again. What's up, Dad? Say hi.
Hi. Hopefully we're going to see the last of the ditch today.
Yeah, let's hope so. Hopefully we don't have to do too much digging.
That's right.
So at any rate, let's take a look and show you where we're starting out. So this is where we finished up yesterday. We were just shy of some 90 fittings to get the last 2 lines back into the pump house there, which really stunk. We wanted to get it done, didn't we, Dad? But here's where we tapped into the main drain line and the flow return. We're going to make use of both of those. That main drain will be great for running our water features, those deck jets, and also for pulling some of the cold water off the bottom of the pool, helping things to circulate a little better with the pool heater. And then the flow return will also be great for the pool heater because we'll get some warm water introduced down in the bottom of the pool. That'll help things circulate a little better, make our heater a little more efficient. So here's where we're picking up, and we got to make a coupling here, and then we'll come over 90 up out of the ditch, go back there, and then 90 back underneath the pump house and put up our last 2 standpipes there, and that'll be it. Amber's going to be down here in a little bit. She's going to fire up the pressure washer and give the pool another wash down. A lot of crud and junk and everything had collected down in there over the last 6 months, 8 months. And so she's going to give it a good wash down, knock off any loose paint. And then we got to go through and give it a quick sanding one more time just to make sure there's no loose paint anywhere along there before we come in with our new pool paint. Looking forward to getting that done. That is going to make a huge cosmetic improvement over where it's at right now. So she'll be back down here in a little bit, fire up that pressure washer. And yesterday she got dusty. Today she's going to get sopping wet. So it should be fun for her. So we're going to get started. We'll catch you up here in a little bit. All right, so the last of the big 2-inch lines going into the pump house is done. We can't be happier. The last 2 were kind of tough to fit in there because they were coming off the old black poly pipe. We had to stab some barb fittings in there. And then they came into the main ditch at an angle. We were hoping to bring them in at a 45, but just because of the way the old poly fittings came out of the ground, that didn't work. So we ended up having to use a 90 to come up and a 90 to go back, and then another 90 to go into the pump house. Not ideal, don't like using all those fittings, but I mean, that's really the best we could do without digging up the whole yard over here and re-ditching everything. So didn't want to do that either. This looks pretty good though. Let me show you how it finished up here. All right, so there you go. We got the last 2 lines. They're the ones on top there, and they come in on top of all the other lines there. But you can see we had to use those fittings to kind of pivot the lines as they were coming into the ditch. There was really no other way to do it, just because of the way they were laying in there in the ditch. Let me show you side view here. So you can see these go over and connect into the old black poly lines there, coming up out of the ditch, and they come in on top of these lines, and then they come in with the rest of the lines inside here. So now we got 9 fittings, 9 pieces of pipe stubbed up here. Got them all labeled so I know where they go. We've got wall return fittings 1 through 4. We got floor return. We got 2 skimmers. We got a vacuum fitting, and then up top there we got the let's see, no, that was floor return. Main drain. Main drain's over there in there somewhere. So anyways, once we get all those put together, those are just stuck in there loosely, just as place markers. As soon as I figure out how I'm going to put all those together in a manifold, then we'll go ahead and cut them to length and glue the bottoms in and get them all organized, and then we'll come in and put some sand in around the bottom there, and then we'll pour concrete in around the top here to reinforce the slab back the way it used to be. Amber's got the inside of the pump house looking good. She's put a couple coats on the walls and 1 coat on the ceiling. So she's gonna come back and do another coat on the ceiling, and then we got to clean up the floor again, and she'll come in and paint the floor as well. That's really got it brightened up and looking good. Speaking of looking good, Amber's in the pool. How's that for a segue?
Thanks, honey.
Yeah, you're welcome. Look good with your boots there.
You like that?
Uh-huh.
Good luck. I'm starting a trend.
That's good. Yeah, they're better than Uggs. No offense to any of our viewers who happen to like Uggs.
You just happen to despise them.
I'm just not a fan, especially Uggs and shorts or Uggs and skirts. Just
Well,
shouldn't be a thing. But anyways,
but muck boots and black shorts are okay.
yeah. So you got muck boots on because you're gonna be down there in the muck.
Yeah, you're just happy I'm working.
I am glad you're working. That's looks like a nice job down there. So you're gonna shovel and sweep and clean up a little bit down there.
I guess.
Okay. Amber's got the power washer sitting over here, so she's going to go ahead and try to clean up the walls of the pool and the floor and kind of wash all the stuff down into the deep end there. And then we'll go ahead and pump all the old water and stuff out and get ready to sand one more time and then paint, right?
Yeah. probably a month away. But
Got to do what? We got to sand, and we got to do our waterline tile.
yes.
Patch the plaster around the waterline
Yes.
tile, and then we'll be ready for paint. And we've been thinking about doing a epoxy, like a 2-part epoxy paint, but after doing some more research, looks like acrylic is going to be a better option for us. It still lasts 3 to 4 years between paint applications, so I think it'll be good for us, at least to get this thing open and get to enjoy it for a few years. But without sandblasting all the paint down and basically replastering the inside of the pool, epoxy wouldn't work real well. Unfortunately, it does tend to kind of cause the under layers, or the layers below, to kind of peel off. So we're going to go ahead and probably use acrylic this time around, huh, babe?
Yeah, it kind of stinks, but
It does, but
okay.
it'll still look good.
It will.
Still be clean, fresh, new, and bright.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, get a few years out of it, and then when the house is finished and we are bored, then we can come back and
Yeah,
do this.
whenever that is. Maybe by year 4.
Maybe.
All right, I'll let you get busy there. I'll check back in with you in a bit. Well, we're having our first spring storm. Get your bag! Get your bag! Having our first spring storm of the year. Kids are down at the fireplace, having a fire and relaxing. But we just called them in because the rain is really whipping. The wind is blowing.
Oh, it's a bunch of...
Super topping. Oh my goodness.
I mean, we're not even in Georgia.
Wow. So we got rained out.
I already took a shower.
You already got a shower? Great.
Yeah.
As long as we got some soap and stuff, you guys could wash up.
Yeah, but too early on.
Man, what a storm. Where are you going?
We gotta get the cottage going.
Don't worry about it, buddy. Just stay up here. It's fine.
What?
So we didn't have to worry about pressure washing. We got Mother Nature to do that for us. Like I got my shovel and my pick over there still. Reed, get out of the weather, please. What a mess. All right, folks, that just about wraps up this edition of Woodmere State Revival. We've been killing it all weekend trying to get the last of the pool plumbing done, and we did. We got the last joint of 2-inch pipe glued in place in the pool house this afternoon. Feels great to have that done. I do have to run my drain line from the diving board into the pool over the hill. That's the overflow. Not a big deal. I can knock that out in probably about 20 minutes. I got the fitting screwed on there earlier today. Right now it's a piece of steel pipe that comes through just under the coping, and it's threaded on one end, so I used a PVC adapter to adapt the pipe thread to the to a glued fitting. And so I got that screwed on, and everything's ready to rock there. Just need to drop a couple pieces of pipe in place. Shouldn't take me very long at all. Other than that, we have wrapped this up. Now we're ready to paint the floor in the pool house, and all of our pool equipment should be here later this week, and our hope is to go ahead and get that stuff installed and get that area wrapped up. Then we'll move on to the interior of the pool, where we're going to get the waterline tile installed, get all the plaster repaired, and get that sucker painted. It's going to be looking really good. Let me show you what all we got accomplished this weekend, recap everything for you. All right, so the rain finally stopped, so I can get out here and show you what Amber got done. She swept and shoveled the interior of the pool. I helped her a little bit down to the deep end, get the last little bit of leaves and dirt and everything else out of there. And then I just got done washing the pool down with the garden hose. She was going to power wash today, but then it poured the rain, so we just didn't get that done. So I just fired up the pump and used the garden hose and washed most of the big stuff down in the deep end there. Once that dries out a little bit, I'll get the last of that shoveled out, and then Amber can get the power washing done probably next weekend. Only thing interesting washed out from underneath that board there was a frog. Shocking. Other than that, the inside of the pool's looking great. As we walk around here, you can see where we got the skidder. As we walk around over here, you can see where we got the skimmer fitted. And we do have to do some concrete work around the skimmer. Of course, we got to get it formed in, and then make sure that everything is flush and level, and then we'll pour this thing solid with the pool using concrete. So we'll get that done on a different date, and then the guys will come back out and they'll set the final piece of limestone coping in place. So we can go ahead and get the edge finished off. And again, here's the lines we got laid in, and I got them run around the back of the pool here. There's that fitting I was talking about just a minute ago. That's the old overflow. Comes in from right there under the coping. Just barely see it there. But that attaches right there, and then we'll run the overflow line down this ditch, and there's a little diagonal piece on the side there where we'll run it over the hill. So that'll take care of any overflow situation. Back over on this side, you can see the ditch where we made our final connections. That was the main drain line and the floor return line, which would be perfect for keeping the water temperature just right and making our heater more efficient. Follow these lines over to the main ditch here, going back to the pump house. You can see lots of water in the ditch from all the rain we had. And now we've got all 9 lines tied together over there and running in underneath the corner of the pool house. Amber's got that looking great. She's going to put, like I said, another coat on the ceiling and then paint the floors for us as well. That'll give us a really nice, bright, clean place to have all of our pool equipment. So couldn't be happier with all the progress we made this weekend. Looking great here. Well, thanks again for hanging out with us on this episode of Woodmere State Revival. Great weekend, lots accomplished. A little bit of rain towards the end today, but really didn't slow us down a whole lot. We were mostly finished with the work we had to get done today. So turned out great. Couldn't be happier with where we're at progress-wise. I don't think it'd be better as if I was sitting beside the pool watching the kids play and swim, but we'll get there. We got a little bit more cleanup work to do around on some of the piping. And then as I mentioned, we're going to try to get the pool equipment. We'll start installing that next weekend, and then hopefully we'll get that tile ordered, start getting that installed, and that's really going to start giving this pool a finished look. So be sure to hit that subscription button so you don't miss a single of our upcoming episodes. If you got any questions, comments, be sure to leave those down below. We're always happy to have those. Give us a like if you would, please. And as always, please be sure to share the channel with your friends and family. Lots of great stuff coming. We got a lot of work to do on this house before we're ready to move in. And then even once that's done, we've got, I don't know, a couple of years worth of work around the property trying to get everything done. Got to build the carriage house. We got to rebuild the pond. So lots of cool stuff to come, and we're going to keep sharing it with you guys. So let us hear from you. And like I said, be sure to hit that subscription button, pass around the channel, let everybody know what's going on here at Woodmere State. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.